is freezing cold. It is freezing cold, Miriam. Okay, so let's go on a sightseeing. Let's go on a sightseeing. The last day of the week. Good morning. It's another school run, and it's the last working day of the week before we move into the weekend. It's going to be another very beautiful weekend. Good morning, Mr. Emmanuel. Good morning, Mary Han. How are you, Mary? I'm still working on your case. Just give us a little bit more of time. You'll be hearing from me very soon. For those of you that have not heard of the story of Mary Han, please do try and get on the hashtag help Let's Save Mary's Hands and do your own little bit. It's another very beautiful out there, but it's extremely cold, as you can see. Extremely cold. Just taking the kids back, the children to school, but they don't want to come on the camera this morning, I've been told. So I have to respect their privacy as well. And that is, as you can see, the weather out there is not smiling at all. Extremely cold. If you're planning to make an holiday to Europe, you must be prepared and warm. It is extremely cold outside. The first leg of the burial ceremony of the former Vice President Alex Ekwueme will be taken off this evening in London. More details on that will be coming to you later on. I'm sure a lot of you were aware that the former Vice President Alex Ekwueme died in the United Kingdom last year, and he will be buried in Nigeria. But the first phase of his burial ceremony will be taken off in London. There's going to be a church service later on this evening from about 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. If all goes well, we should be bringing that live to you later on. The burial ceremony of the former Vice President Alex Ekwueme before he will be flew back to Nigeria over the weekend. Also, this Sunday is going to be the IDP walk. So for those of you in London, or those of you in around London, or if you're on holiday and you want to be part of that, you will be able to do that. It's going to be about 2 hours walk. It's going to be from Thamesmead, the Morrison, and all the way to O2. Then on Friday next week, it's going to be an elderly giving back at the back in Town Hall. Make sure you're part of that as well. As you can see now, it's extremely cold outside. Let's just give you a little bit of view of what the difference between a very good road network, a well-organized system where everything works, and that is just a view. As you can see, everybody is out already. There's a giveaway sign, as you can see there. Once again, my name is Olayomi Koiki. Thank you for those that have been watching some of the videos that we did in Nigeria. All the videos, over 100 of them, are now on the YouTube. If you want to watch any of my videos that we've done while we were in Nigeria, all the videos is now up and running on YouTube. Olayomi Koiki. But once again, it's thank God it's Friday, and it's the last working day of the week before we move to the beautiful weekend, where I know in Lagos there will be a lot of party. Once again, you're watching a live feed. Traffic as it's breaking. As you can see, outside is still a little bit dark, and it's coming up to almost 8 o'clock in the morning, and the weather is extremely cold, extremely cold. This is not a Matano. It's a serious weather. So if you're thinking of traveling to Europe, make sure you have enough to keep yourself warm. It is going to be a very beautiful weekend. There's a lot happening within the Nigerian community. We've said it, the 3rd of February will be an immigration surgery. As you can see there, the top of that car is extremely icy. That tells you the weather is not smiling at all. But regardless of the weather, everybody's out already. The weather is not an excuse. And like I said so many times, we have so many hard-working Nigerians that are already out as early as 5 o'clock as well in the morning. We need to continue to ask for good leadership so that we can all enjoy the same view as we are watching it right here. Thank you very much for joining all the way from Benue State, Mrs. Victoria Tabo. Thank you very much for joining right here in London. 14 Bonnie, thank you very much. Abosede Ogunleye, thank you for joining me, ma. And my own Agzoba Dare Shomori. Well, the most important thing is, you know, you move around, you find out what is the big, massive thing that we cannot do. What is it that we cannot do as we're watching right now? A lot of people have been complaining about all the rubbish all over in Lagos State. But the Lagos State government says they're doing everything to clear all this rubbish. Thank you for joining. Sontex Okori, Bakari Taiwo, that is my own Kasubaba. Thank you for joining all the way in Abeokuta. How is the weather in Abeokuta this morning? Emmanuel Agaji, thank you very much. Once again, we will be showing you some of these as well, as we're going to be moving into different states within the next couple of months. But we need everyone to also support so that we can make that journey as quickly as possible. But tonight is going to be the first leg of the burial ceremony of Alex Ikweme. May so rest in peace. He died here in London. There's going to be a church program from 6 p.m. this evening before the body will be flew into Nigeria over the weekend. We hope to bring that to you later on this evening from about 6 p.m. But we're still working on some of the modality to be able to bring that back. But I have been speaking to the PRO of the committee set up, and if all goes well, I should get a feedback later on this morning. If you want us to bring your event live to the global audience, whether right here in Nigeria or in United Kingdom, do get in touch with us. But what you're watching now is a road trip which I do every Monday to Friday, taking the children to school. It is coming up to exactly, well, if we're not running a bit late, everything is timed. We know when the bus is coming. This particular bus gets into the bus stop that we normally pick it from at exactly 5 minutes to 8, and it takes about 10 minutes or so. Most of the journeys in Lagos State tends to be longer because the road network is nothing to write home about. There's too many potholes, there's too many unnecessary agbiru, creating all kind of traffic on the road. But once again, as you can see, we're now back on the main road again, where this particular axis of this road was fixed during the school holiday last year. It took them quite a long time, but right now the road is now fully back. It is extremely cold outside, extremely cold. There's a lot going to be happening in Nigeria as well. The 2019 election campaign has already started. I'm sure if you're following all the development that is taking place in Nigeria, you realize that this year we won't see much happening apart from campaign and campaign. But the question is, are we all going to sit down? Are you going to be part of it? Are you going to be voting, or you're just going to give an excuse as well? It is time to get your PVC so that you'll be prepared when this election gets closer. As you can see, that's the sweeper, the little mobile sweeper cleaning the road. The weather is extremely cold. All the children trying to get on the bus. All the videos that we did while we were in Nigeria, all those videos are now up and running on the YouTube channel. You can leave a comment, you can leave recommendation. If you want to host us in any of the states, we've already got a host in Benue State, Mrs. Victoria Tabo, will be hosting us by the time we are prepared to travel around the country. We have a host already in Imo and Enugu State. If you know somewhere or have an information of a particular area that we could bring back during our moving around in each of these states, do get in touch with us and we'll definitely make it happen. Let's show you a bit of myself. As you can see, it is extremely cold, very, very cold. It is very cold Friday morning, but there's no lazy man in United Kingdom. No matter how cold it is, you must find a way out and do what you have to do. Let's put you back to the live traffic as it's happening right here. You can follow me on Twitter, Yomex06, and if you're on Instagram or you're on LinkedIn, if you're thinking you have money and you want some few things to buy in London and you need someone to guide you, reach out to us and we will also be able to help you with that. If you have certain information that you need, if we don't have that information in hand, we can also give you the direction of what to do. We're just a few minutes away to the school, and I keep saying until the government invest heavily in all the secondary and the primary school and the university and the polytechnics, all the necessary equipment. We saw those videos of those young little children that were being beaten mercilessly in Nasarawa State. But as at yesterday, while I was looking at some of the development in that state, the Commissioner for Education was on that school in 2018. You don't do those kind of beatings. As you can see, there's a zebra crossing. A lot of people, a lot of the drivers in Nigeria don't even understand all the zebra crossing. Most of the time when I step on it, they keep looking at me like they have the right to go on it, even though somebody's already on it. We still need to do a lot of awareness about the meaning of zebra crossing. As you can see, it is cold outside, extremely cold. We will continue to bring you the best of United Kingdom and also Nigeria. We'll also be bringing you more information. There's a lot of program, there's a lot of projects. But right now, We're bringing you a live feed all the way from Akiyode. Long time. Where have you been? You this guy. Azuba Ade Akiyode. Yeah, we're coming down here. Okay. And that is the school. We will show you the school in just about a few minutes. The government needs to invest heavily. I'll just come down. Yes, it is extremely cold. Some of the cameras that is set up on the bus, so that if anyone tries to do any wuru-wuru, you won't be able to say it's not new. They will always look at this camera to deal with you. As you can see, cameras in all the buses all over United Kingdom. Is a mandatory that every buses must have a camera in them, and that's for safety and security. It is very important that the Nigerian government takes lives and property very serious. Okay. Just coming up on the bus now. Morning. And as you can see, and that is the school. You okay, Miriam? Why do you like walking on this dirty? All right there. Good morning, my very big auntie, Mrs. Taibat Ganiu, the Facebook City family. I spoke to Lekon 2 days ago. I will look forward to seeing him back very soon as well. And that is the school. You know, I need to take that off. All right, Miriam. Okay. And that's the. Where's Majid? All right, Majid. All right, take care. Well, they've gone for the breakfast. And that is, you know, you ask yourself, why is it that we don't want to invest in the lives of children in Nigeria? Is one big question that I keep asking myself. As you can see, that is, you know, the view of the school. That's the environment, the zebra crossing. The rail station is there, and you can see, you know, the question is, why is our government, you know, not ready to invest in our children in terms of education? Education is the key, you know. The kids are going to have breakfast, they're going to have lunch. As you can see, you know, what is it that we don't want to do? The camera is there. It's not like all these cameras in Lagos that half of them are not even working, you know. So until we put in the right measures, and things will be done properly. And as you can see there, you know, everyone is getting into the school. You know, the question is, you know, this is not a private school. It's just a normal state school. You go to any of the state schools in Nigeria. I was in so many of them while I was in Ogun State and in Lagos. And you cry why this condition and the state of some of those schools are nothing to write home about. But right now is a live coverage from the Oasis Academy Adley. You know, this is not, education is the key, but our leaders has changed the padlock. It's just as simple as that, you know. Thank you very much, Ade Wonyi, Ade Nike, Ade Joke, my sister there. You know, the question is, what is, look at this building. How much is this going to cost to put a structure like, well, somebody will just spend and steal the money, They steal all this money, and at the end of the day, they're going to die, and they die, stupidly. Look at some of these are housing. These are not, by rich people, Average people lives in these buildings. What is it that we can't put in place, to get things done properly? They steal all this money. Someone that should put in, the structure, the infrastructure, they will steal half of the money, start buying cars, and we are not investing in the lives of some of these unborn children, and it just makes you cry every day, We will get there, but every one of us as well has responsibility. Thank you very much all the way from Zaria. Are you back in Lagos now, Mr. Aliyu? I hope you're going to be the one, sponsoring my Zaria by the time I'm back in Nigeria. Are you back in Lagos, Mr. Aliyu Babatunde? Mr. Aliyu Babatunde is one Nigeria that is, working extremely well in terms of money. He's doing a lot of training at the moment in Zaria State. So I'm back on the bus again, and we take you on another ride. Let me clear. It's very cold outside, though. Extremely cold. The government is not ready to invest in our education. All their own children will be sent abroad, and they'll be paying a lot of money. It's very expensive for international students. It's about almost close to £14,000 if you're going to the university, and most of them, are also paying for accommodation, and yet we can't get all our own education system up and running. That is why those shitty leaders keep embarrassing us. We have all what it takes to build. Yes, Nigeria have more than what it takes to build the whole world. What we have in terms of natural resources in Nigeria, if this country have, half of it, hey, they will lock everybody down more than the way they've locked us down now. We have gas, we have, look at Ajaokuta, it's still not up and running. There's still fuel scarcity as we speak now, in Nigeria. I was listening to Channels News. A lot of you also listen to Channels. We also have a lot of people on ground that give us, up-to-date information. Join me again at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm still giving my updates on Star Radio UK. We are also working on a different structure in terms of my show. I always present on Wednesday on the Star Radio, but we're trying to also get some sponsor. It's very important, we get sponsor so that we can bring in, the best out of what is happening globally as well. The big question is, we have the money, but the money is being kept by few people. Look at that Songwater Road. Up till now, it's still not fixed. Up till now, Songwater Road, as far back as I'm in high school in Abeokuta, and up till now, that's almost 20 years ago. I drove past those roads, most of the time while I was traveling, to see the KBAC of Ibogun. You just wonder, why we don't have, development. Development is not happening a lot as it should be in Nigeria in 2017, as I was still, in Nigeria. Development is still the rural area. Oh, Lord of mercy. We need to really up the game. We need people that can really move this country, and move it forward. We're not talking about all these, old men that don't have vision. We're talking about, young ones that really wants to do something different. Let me show you this particular road. This road, that we're just about to get into. This whole road was completely over. Everything was done last year during the children holiday. This big roundabout, this whole road was blocked for more than 2 months. Even after the school resumed, there was still a lot of traffic. But as you can see now, everyone is just, enjoying that road now. Even though there was nothing wrong with those roads, but they just wanted to upgrade it, to something different. Look at Apapa, all those trucks. If there's a fire on that Third Mainland Bridge, oh Lord of mercy, with all those trucks. If you have not seen that video, I did a very, just about 20-minute video as I was getting onto Third Mainland Bridge. This particular, look at it, look at that roundabout. This was just fixed, upgraded, last year. As you can see, this whole road network was all upgraded, last year. Apapa is a dead pot. Nothing is moving. All the truck parked on the bridge from Surulere to Ojuelegba, in 2018. And people are still thinking it's going to be one or two political parties that will move. Why must it be one or two political parties? When we have, other young party that wants to give an attempt to it, let's try something different. That's what we are saying. We are not campaigning for anybody, but we must move the country forward if we really want to see. I'll show you the local government council. You see the building, this brown building on my left-hand side, just immediately after that street. That is the Enfield Council. You'll be surprised, how the whole council, that is there. That's the Enfield Council. For those that are looking for accommodation, cleaning of the area, everything, all the structure, that's the council. That's the council building. We don't even have any council building in Nigeria. Look at them. They're already up and running. I maintenance, street cleaners. The whole of Lagos is so dirty, all rubbish. They were showing even a picture of a rubbish that was collected, and yet even under it is still dirty. Go to the Lagos State Government Twitter feed. You see, everyone is paid, so you come out and do the job, even though it's very cold outside. I can tell you it's freezing. But when you know you're going to be paid, you go out and work now. This is the BT exchange. Nitel was just collapsed by the same people that are now telling us they will change Nigeria. They collapsed Nitel. That is the BT exchange. That's it there. That building over there. You can see petrol station. There's no queue. There's nothing. You just go in there. Nigeria, we are the one producing crude oil, but United Kingdom and other part of Europe are the one enjoying it. It's just crazy. You see the petrol station. There's no queue. There's already fuel scarcity as we speak now, again in Nigeria. Everyone has their pathway to work. So what is so difficult to get this country moving? People keep saying, "Oh, we're only 57 years." Do we have to be 100 years before Nigeria gets better? When everybody will die? I'm gonna be 40 this year, and yet we don't have 24 hours electricity. So that means if you're running a business or you're doing anything that needs full 24 hours electricity, you have to. I was buying petrol every week, close to about 9,000 naira. So which works to about close to 38 or 37,000 naira in a month. But my NEPA bill was less than 9,000. So is that not stupidity? So definitely somebody is making more money for me buying, petrol more than putting the electricity in place. And yet even some rural areas in Nigeria doesn't even have access to any education. There's another school on this particular road, as you can see. So this is me going back. Look at the whole journey from the time I've dropped the children. And this is another school, right? So the question mark is, what is so difficult to get things done quickly? That is the question mark. But we need, a whole overhaul system change. We're not, we need leaders that really have, that really loves the country, that will sacrifice. It's not all these ones that are telling us they want to make a change, but all we are seeing is only few people are still, enjoying. Let us continue to show you the, must we wait for, for miracle to come before we get things done properly? I've said it so many times. All the students in the university should be given access to free Wi-Fi. JAMB form is very expensive. Average wages is 18,000 naira, and some of them have not even been paid. So you just wonder that what is really our problem. We have all the the weather is very good. Our climate is the best in the world. You wake up in the morning, your body gets stretched because the sun is out. We just have everything, but we don't have those that have the vision to move things forward. And they're gonna start telling us about all this. They collapse the whole infrastructure. NITEL, that should be our biggest, making money. They now give it to all these MTN and all these other companies to be running. And the same old people now are telling us, NITEL, they want to come back and give us the vision that they could not give us while they were all in all these offices. Even though all the roads in the United Kingdom are so small, but they are all movable. So you can see there, there's a police van. Maybe they're there on the, who knows. You call them, they will come out. Even though we know the police as well in the United Kingdom are, sometimes very, very, you can't trust them, but at least they will still respond to the crime. And that's the police van there. So the question myself and a lot of Nigerians are asking is, when are we going to, get the same view? Too many potholes in Lagos, too many potholes. And those are what create a lot of traffic. It's just coming up to past 8, and yet the traffic is still moving right here. It's only 10 minutes. A 10 minutes journey in Nigeria will take you more than 1 hour. So that's why a lot of people are, becoming old. You look at people and you wonder, at this age, because it's stress. Good morning, Salamu Alaikum, Sister Kafila. Sorry, I could not see you this time around when I was in Lagos. Hopefully, maybe the next trip we'll be able to catch up. Thank you very much for joining. Shobo Ayokunle. We're just showing you a trip around Deborah. Thank you very much. PDP and APC is Nigerian problem. Those old men should go and sit down. You have to take over. Nigerians are suffering. And, the suffering is another word. When I was in Nigeria, you will see pains in people's eyes. Even that word suffering is more than suffering now. The poverty level in the country is extremely high. So, but out of this poverty, we still have, billionaires, a lot of money that is still moving around. So, good morning and Baraka de Jumat for all those that are preparing for the Friday prayer in the next few hours. And for those that are also happy that it's already weekend. A lot of us are always happy right here in London where it's weekend, especially those that are working tirelessly. All the nurses, all our midwives. I'd like to say a big thank you to them. They're the one, making NHS to be what it is. Nigeria government should bring back all these people, put them in good accommodation, and let them come and fix all these our health sector problem that we have all over the country. We have millions of Nigerians working with NHS, not in their thousands, millions. Because if you are not a midwife, you are a driver, you are a consultant, you are also, doing one thing or the other. So all over United Kingdom, there's over 1 million Nigerians, and yet, our own health system is nothing to write home. Any small little thing, all these rich people will travel out of the country, they will come here, and the same Nigerians will treat them. It's just so sad. It's very, very sad. We must wake up, especially as we're moving into the next election. Let everyone at least advise someone to get their PVC, get your PVC. Not a lot of people are coming out to vote. That is one of the other problems. Tell your friends, your network, at the beer parlor, wherever, at the wedding, at the party, tell someone to go get their PVC. Even if they're not going to vote, just get it and put it in your pocket. So that when the time comes for voting, look at that petrol station, no queue. This one, they don't have any crude oil. We are the one, bringing out the crude oil, but yet, you can't even, get the petrol. We'll get there, but we won't stop talking. I'll be coming off as well. It's extremely cold outside. So let's get. If people think, the technology that we have in our hands, we'll be able to use it now to make a big difference. Just coming off on the bus. Excuse me. Okay, let's now give you, and that was just the bus I've just come off. You can see there, the bus 191. Once again, until the citizen, everybody, start talking, and we start engaging ourselves so that we can get the best, out of Nigeria. Nigeria is so beautiful. There's so much opportunity. But the problem is we need those, I was watching journalists hang out on TVC last night, and the kidnap rate is still high between Kaduna and Abuja. The kidnapping was done. Another 2 foreigners were kidnapped, and even their police escort was killed, And you ask yourself, what is the problem that we cannot get our security sorted out? Because we cannot continue like this. We need to do everything. And that's why, in this 2018, I'm going to be moving around each of the states and try to bring back some useful information, that could help those that are living outside the country. But the question everybody will ask again is, is the security going to be, good if we're still having a lot of kidnap, between Kaduna and Abuja motorway. Let's show you more view. That's just a normal, this is not like a Victoria Line or Ikoyi. It's just a normal, So you ask yourself, what is so difficult, to put the infrastructure? You can see all the buses, going to different locations. Once again, that was the school run. That was done in under half an hour or less. We took the bus from here. You saw us when we were going on the bus. And now I'm back again in my own area. So it is good. And whatever you're doing, like I said, later on this evening, I should be bringing a live coverage of the burial ceremony of the former Vice President, Alex Ekwueme, later on this evening. So make sure you stay tuned on Sunday, in this very cold weather, we should also be doing a IDP walk. It's going to be about 2 hours walk from Thamesmead up to the O2 Arena. So make sure you're part of that. The next week, Thursday, there's another event happening. All those information, you can go on my event page on Facebook, or you could also continue to follow us on all the other social media platforms. If you've missed any of the videos that I did while I was in Nigeria, if you want to see that Oshodi Trader Market Association, well, we're having a good time. The video is on YouTube. Or if you miss that Iwokwe trip, maybe you might just want to go back. I think that is really trending on YouTube. I think I've got over 47 people love the water side, even though people were saying we didn't have any safety measure, but I'm sure those that were taking us on that trip are well-trained fishermen. So you might just go and look on that on YouTube. The same name is the one I'm using on YouTube, Olayomi Koiki. Share the page and also continue to put in your own little bit in the GoFundMe that we've set up for the trip to the 36 states of the country. No matter how small it is, put in your own little mite so that we can get this project going as quickly as possible. We're also going to be bringing with us, not just myself will be going on the trip, also 2 or 3 Nigerians will be employed for each of the journey that I'll be taking as well. And we'll bring in so many things as well later on. But for the time being, it's good morning and maybe good afternoon because it's a different word, or just a good night in another part of the world. I'll be back again later on today, I can assure you that. But the burial ceremony of the Vice President, Alex Ekwueme, will take off in London this evening at 6 p.m. Thank you very much and have a good day.